monkey who would be king. The Chinese tell many stories about a monkey whose full name was Sun Hao Zu, and who was hatched from an egg at the top of a mountain on the eastern side of the ocean. Although he was only a monkey, a wizard taught Sun all the secrets of the arts of magic, and soon he was able to change into 72 different forms and could jump 36,000 miles with a single bound. Sun was not a villain to begin with. It was he who organised all the world's monkeys into a single great army. By putting them all on the same side, he made sure that there was nobody for them to fight against, which is why the monkeys have always been at peace. Unfortunately, this accomplishment went to his head, and he began to get rather too big for his boots. Stealing a magic sword from the Dragon King of the Eastern Sea, he made a nuisance of himself in all sorts of different ways. He got drunk at a banquet and woke up in hell, where he promptly killed the two devils who guarded him and tore his name out of the Book of the Dead. This meant he could never die. He was sent up to heaven, where he looked after the stables, but when he got bored of that, he broke down one of heaven's walls and escaped back to earth. Soon all the gods and goddesses were furious with him. The entire army of heaven set out after him, and though he fought valiantly, changing into all 72 of his different shapes, he was caught and sentenced to death. But because he could not die, it was decided instead to melt him down in the furnace of a famous wizard named Lazzy. Lazoi made his furnace white hot and dropped the monkey inside, slamming the lid. Sun remained there for 49 days, but then, when nobody was looking, he opened the lid and sprang out. By that time he was white hot with anger. Snatching up his magic sword, he announced himself the King of Heaven and threatened to kill everyone who lived there. Now the august personage of Jade, who was the proper ruler of heaven, was at his wit's end. He could not kill the monkey, and it seemed he could not keep him a prisoner, so in despair he sent for the one being who was more powerful than him, more powerful in fact than anyone or anything in the universe, the Buddha. And so the Buddha came and asked the monkey what all the fuss was about. "I want to be King of Heaven," the monkey told him. "Do you think you're ready for such a position?" the Buddha asked with a gentle sigh. "Of course I am," the monkey snapped. "I'm ready for anything. Did you know, for example, that I can change myself into 72 different shapes, and that I can jump 36,000 miles with one bound? I bet you can't jump that far." "You think yourself more powerful than me?" the Buddha asked. "I most certainly do." "Let us see then, my little friend. Show me how far you can jump. But to prove that you really go as far as you say, write your name on the ground when you get there." So the monkey took a deep breath, crouched down, and with all his strength leapt up into the air. It was a fantastic jump. He soared up into the sky, broke through the clouds and continued into outer space, past the planets, right out of the solar system and beyond the stars. At last he landed in the middle of a great desert where two huge trenches met in the ground in front of him. Nothing grew for thousands of miles in any direction, but he could see that the ground was laced with a network of lines making intricate patterns as they crossed over one another. Sun Hao Zu had no idea where he was, but he was terrifically pleased with himself. He signed his name on the ground with a great flourish and jumped all the way back again. "Not bad," the Buddha said, "but I'm sure you can do even better than that. Why not try again, and this time put all your strength into it?" "All right," Sun said. He puffed himself up so much that he looked more like a frog than a monkey. Then he scrunched himself into a ball and finally catapulted himself off the ground with legs like rockets. This time he shot through the universe so quickly that he was just a blur. Not only did he break out the solar system, but he passed the 5 red pillars which mark the boundary of the created world. At last he landed, this time on the edge of a perfectly circular cliff. A white precipice jutted out just below the ground on which he stood, and beneath that all was darkness. The height almost made him dizzy, but he still signed his name, as he had been told, before jumping all the way back. "There you are," he said to the Buddha, unable to stop himself sneering. "I have proved that I am far more powerful even than you. Could you have jumped that far? Of course not. Only the monkey could do it." "Wretched creature," the Buddha cried, getting angry for the first time. He stretched out his hand. "See here the full extent of your vanity. You have signed your name twice on my right hand. The first time you landed on my palm, between my lifeline and my line of destiny. The second time you reached as far as the tip of my index finger and stood above my nail. Look where you have made your mark. It is the evidence of your own limitations." Now the monkey was afraid and began to tremble. He opened his mouth to speak, but it was too late for words. The Buddha seized the wretched creature and shut him up inside a magic mountain, and there he remained until the day that he forgot his ambitions and realised that although a monkey can rule the world, only the Buddha is fit to rule the kingdom of heaven.